Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about the Rust Console Edition update that's happening this week, future updates, where's the roadmap that we've been promised, and my thoughts as far as what's coming up here in the near future and maybe what's coming up in the coming months for Rust Console Edition, and a bit of my thoughts on the current state of things for the game. And I just want to put out there right away to say, look, I love this game. I'm never going to stop playing this game. I've been playing it for over 10 years. We're on our 11th year now for Rust and both Rust Console Edition. Obviously, Rust Console Edition hasn't been out that long, but we've been playing it the whole time it's been out. So by no stretch of the imagination, by us having these discussions, talking about things, are we saying that this game's done for? By no stretch of the imagination is it. It just has a lot of extra potential that I think it's not being tapped into yet, and maybe that's what they're leading up to. I don't know. But again, this is hopefully to push forward our ideas, thoughts, and to give the people, the management over at Double 11, if they need a pulse on the community as to like what we're thinking, what's happening, hopefully they can reference this and it's accurate to what we are, what our desires are and our dislikes, likes, and all that stuff. So I just want to put that out there. This game isn't going anywhere by any stretch of the imagination, but do I think that there could be lots of improvement? Yes. Should it be wildly successful? Yes, of course, of course. So first of all, I want to put a correction out there. The last video I talked about, I was talking to Pedro, and I didn't get a response about the monthly updates. They are still doing the monthly updates, but here's kind of the caveat. Well, actually, let's pause. Let's rewind. So the update that's happening this Thursday, so our end of February, that's coming to main branch, is currently what's on PTB for the most part. So yes, extremely skimpy. I don't even think there's a major like feature or content piece in there. It's mostly just hot fixes. Like, we understand that. Believe me, that's part of my contention that I'm having with this. I was like, hey, what's that all about? You know what I mean? So, and I think we can kind of piece it together. I think the roadmap isn't going to be for at least a month or two is my guess. If we get it earlier, great. As a matter of fact, I'm setting my expectation for like 2 months out, and if it's earlier, then that's just a win for us. And I'll tell you why. It's kind of the way they responded to us. Well, first of all, saying that they have something very exciting in the fact that they want to NDA us, which I still think is ludicrous. And again, we had that discussion to say maybe the NDA is something that's out of their control, because if it's a face punch driven thing, it's going to have to be something they just comply, and they would really have no say. And so maybe they are doing the code split. We don't know. That would kind of invoke an NDA. I'm kind of leaning towards something in that ballpark. We don't know for certain, but I have a feeling the roadmap is going to reveal a lot of that stuff. But I guess my comment is to the management is, can we have some pieces leading up to it? Can we know that maybe we're going to be a little light on content? I mean, I got that out of Pedro more or less, I think. But the point is, it's like you gotta give us something to go on. You know what I mean? Like, talk around the NDA stuff if you have to. I mean, if he was able to respond to say, look, we got some exciting stuff coming up, but the next few updates are going to be a little bit light. I'm like, okay, at least that's something. That's not what we want to hear, obviously, but you know, we need to know what's happening here. You know what I mean? So that's a positive that something good is coming down the pipeline. I don't think anything dire is happening. I think it's just them adjusting to the new content schedule. But it would have been nice to kind of know that we were going to go a bit light there for a period of time. And my question is, what was November? What was December? What was February, January, and March, right? Like, what are we doing? I guess we'll find out after the roadmap, but still, the fact that they have to NDA us is kind of wild, right? So my guess is there's some kind of mix in with maybe Face Punch and they have like a bigger announcement. So if there is a code split to either old gen and new gen, that would be an NDA inducing event. So just putting that out there. That could be a possibility. They could just be clamping it down, and maybe it's their way of trying to control like what kind of talk is going on about Double 11. I don't know, but all I know is an NDA like that that's broad, sweeping, is not good for the creator, because if we come up and we figure it out, it's like they basically can clamp us. So it inhibits our ability to communicate with you, and a lot of the times we are correct. So anyway, so that's what's going on. I have a feeling that the roadmap's not going to come out until probably the end of March, is my guess, is kind of the feeling I have. Okay, so by the way, check this out. So what's over on PTB now? I think it happened today, or I don't know if it was Friday or not. I don't think it's going to be out at the end of February, but this is kind of interesting too. So maybe this is what they end up steering over on for our March update. Who knows? But it's kind of better than just our hot fixes. So here's what I'm talking about. They said we'll be running a month-long test on a new map called Donut Island that will be available on main branch for community servers upon release at the end of March updates to the main branch. So it'll be on PTB, but then it'll be on main at the end of March. So that was queued up on PTB this week. So that's not going to be in our February update. So just so you know, all right? So you're not confused, because it is a little confusing. And then there's some other stuff, some fixes, but let's be honest, most of them are going to be hot fixes, pretty much, it looks like, for March too, with the exception of this minor addition. But they did say that this particular map is going to be out on 3 servers on PTB, and each will have a 2-week wipe schedule. Ooh, bi-weekly, baby! Oh, by the way, if you're looking for a good server, I have the server ID there on the left-hand side of the screen, or upper left-ish side of the screen. If you are looking for a good server, search by server ID. Be sure to switch the name field to ID. Type that in. You can find it. It's open to everyone. If you'd like to get Q-Skip, that is done through VIP. It's channel membership on my channel. Once you are, just look for the members-only post under the community tab, and then add your PSN or gamer tag there. Once you are a channel member, that's how you do it. And it's only Q-Skip. That's it. We don't do kits. We don't do any of that stuff. There's no admin abuse here. This is strictly for gameplay. That's it. We protect the experience at all costs. Anyways, again, if a lot of people are playing, they like that bi-weekly schedule, I'm down for changing our 2X to a bi-weekly. We did it before, but I don't think people were really ready for it, but I think they might be now, because bi-weekly is so much fun. I like these freaking pyramid builds, I'll tell you what. Okay, so what Pedro said last time is he said we'll have more information that'll be public in the upcoming months anyways. So again, kind of leaning towards, I think, and then he also said the few months will be a little bit skimpy. So I'm kind of putting my expectation at 2 or 3 months out, and then if it's sooner, great. I'm hoping we get some more tangible content. Again, ziplines would be great, or parachutes at the minimum. Get us a little bit of transportation across the map would be great. Here's the other thing to consider. We keep saying this, but I think this is very real. Whether you like this game or not, whether the game is a success or flop, the end of the year will be consumed with dollars and time spent by players in GTA 6. So essentially, this is a 9-month year off the rip, and we're what, on March now? So we're like what, 8-7 months total to do anything. And then if we knock off another 2, we're looking at maybe 5 months, so less than half a year to make something substantial. So if they're going to make this big move, they better do something quickly, because it's not saying this game's going to go away, but they're going to take a massive player base hit, which means their skin sales will be not as high as they could be, right? So I don't think they can reshuffle whatever it is they're doing now to the end of the year. I think they've already engaged in it. I think they're committed to it. And again, maybe this is a face punch thing. Maybe they've decided to split the code base. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of bases here. Oh my. So here's what I think. I think we'll get some of these stopgap fixes, hot fixes for the next 2 to 3 months, give or take. And hopefully it's a lot less than 3, right? I mean, that's kind of wild. I think we'll see a mode of transportation. I'm still leaning towards that it's going to be cars. It just kind of feels that way with the way everything, the timing and the stuff that's already in. For one of the reasons there is we just flew by that big gap there. Flying a helicopter would be detrimental to that. As you came flying in, it would sputter, and I'm on the next gen upper tier. So yeah, you see that stuttering? If you're flying, that's bad news, brother. Because it has to be able to handle big bases like that, obviously. But it's not to say that it's not coming in. I think minicopters are definitely a foregone conclusion. And I just think it's going to be, the low-hanging fruit's probably going to be the cars, which, again, I'll take it, because once you see what cars can do, I think you'll be very excited with that addition to the game. And I don't think, we hear a lot of people also talk about, they're like, hey, the maps aren't big enough. They are big enough for transportation. Cars are useful on a 1-grid map. Cars are useful on a, or helicopters are useful on a 1-grid map. Like, it gives you the mobility, it gives you protection, it gives you a spawn point, it does lots of things. So I should say the cars, not the minis. The minis give you, like, just verticality that you don't have. It enables you to attack big bases like this and just jump the wall. But there are hard counters to it. Again, we've gone over it ad nauseum at this point because we've been waiting for these for so long. But I do think it's going to be a mode of transportation. I really, really hope, and this is more for the management stuff, as you guys are planning this out and doing the roadmap and stuff, please give us some verticality in transportation. Low-hanging fruit would be Ziplines, parachute, and hot air balloons. However you want to do it. Like, if we're also getting other modes of transportation in the interim, please give us something like that because it adds so much more to the game. It changes the way we do bases. It's just needed, right? Like we need it so bad. I know this guy. He makes this base all the time, and I love it. It's a lovely trap base. Yeah. So I think essentially we're gonna have to hang on for the next few months, and just get in there, get your builds down, how you're gonna play, and we'll start to see what this is slowly over time. I don't think it's gonna be March when we see when the roadmap is. I think we're gonna find out probably at the end of. And we'll kind of have to wait and see how all of this shakes out. But I am excited for the big updates that are coming through. There's only so much left, and it's got to be big ticket items, and why else would they wait this long? So in conclusion, it looks like we'll get a roadmap 1 or 2 months out. I'm guessing like 2 months, 3 months out. We have a shorter year, essentially because GTA is coming out. I would like to see some major updates out in form of transportation. I'd like to see something else in the interim. Whether it's hot air balloons, zip lines, parachutes, or all of those things. I mean, it would be nice if they included all of those things. I think it would help a lot. I think it would hold us over until you're ready for these big updates. Maybe they do the code split. Maybe that's why they're forcing an NDA on us, because Facepunch is requiring that. There could be also another major shift happening too. Either way, it looks like at the end of the year last year, they had a good idea of what they were going to do, and I feel like they shifted it. And the fact that we've got this big chunks of time where it feels like hotfixes and whatnot, there was definitely a change that happened, and the fact that they're clamping us also says that something happened. I do think it's positive. I don't think it's going to be a negative thing. I don't think they're going under or anything like that. I definitely get the impression that they're ramping up for something big. So as we start to piece things together, we'll definitely let you know. If we get any more clues, hints, or we figure it out, we'll let you guys know. But the monthly development is still on, full steam ahead. It just looks like we had a major change, and if the management's watching, we hope that we get something substantial for transportation, please. Oh, please. Parachutes, please. Please. Hot air balloons, please. And, I also urge them, when they can, please communicate to the community. We need it badly. And if you can't talk about NDA stuff, please talk around it. We need that communication from the developers, because otherwise it looks like they don't care or there's no plan. And I don't think that's the case. And I don't think that's the impression they want to give. So, we'll see you guys in the next live stream videos. We'll be building some bases. Be on the lookout for some of that good stuff. Again, if you're looking for that custom server, should already be up there on the left-hand side. And be sure to check out the video on the end screen. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye! Whew.